All right, Joey, your first crack.
Well, we'll look at the game, Collingwood-Carlton. It's a massive occasion. We always love at these games. But I'm going with the Blues because I don't think it's all doom and gloom at Carlton. There's been a lot of noise this week about where the Blues are at, but I can see why Michael Voss is keeping the faith. And they are doing lots right without getting the wins. And I know some people might find that hard to believe, but here are just some of the numbers early in the season that indicate that 3/4 of Carlton's game is in good shape. So defending ball movement, allowing the opposition to move the ball from the defensive half to inside 50, best in the competition. Winning the ball back from the opposition, best in the competition. When the opposition start with the ball, whether from a kick-in, a stoppage or a turnover, going to score, Carlton, best in the competition at not allowing it. And they're playing the game in their front half. And when it does go in their back half, they are the 4th best team in the competition. Now, why I still think that's pretty positive. Brisbane Lions at round 8 last year were almost very, very identical to those numbers. Brisbane's defensive profile and their ability to stop the opposition was really strong. Their offence just was struggling. They couldn't get their offence going. As soon as their offence clicked for Brisbane, we know what happened. Now, I'm not saying Carlton are going to win the flag from here like Brisbane did, but it's just showing that there are a lot of positive signs. And you've been big king on showing Carlton just finishing their work. It's the last piece. Now, it's not necessarily an easy piece, but if they can fix that part of their game, I think the wins might come. And I just took an example of some vision from the weekend to show these are the parts they're doing right. So they were able to slow the Bulldogs up a lot in this game, take the intercept mark. And then they're doing most of this. So this is a pretty good look. You're back into the corridor. You show this clip king. You want Walsh to keep going, but that's a layup. Hit the forward. All of a sudden, you're getting a shot on goal. They were 24 points up at this stage early in the game. You can extend the lead. Same thing here. Behind the ball, really good shape. So the Bulldogs, who are a very good offensive team, try and get something going. Carlton able to turn the footy over. And again, they're not able to finish their work. But the reason why I'm still pretty bullish on their offence is it's not like they haven't done it before. So last season, Carlton were the 4th best team in the competition scoring. They were the 2nd best team scoring off turnover, and they were the 2nd best team at scoring when it went inside 50. So another example, turning the ball over through the middle of the ground. Most of it right. If you just come in board, there's Blake Acres in a ton of space and you get a much better look. Instead, they stayed skinny side. So I'm just sticking fat with them. I think my gut feel is they can cause an upset tomorrow. They then play the West Coast Eagles and they can get it rolling. If they take on board some of your advice, the extra handball, take your grass, finish your plays, I don't think it's as bad as maybe what's been made out the last week or two.
So you're saying from Collingwood's perspective, coming to strong wins off the back of a poor opening round, then you think Carlton match up well in terms of the way they're playing?
Defensively, they do. Defensively, they might be able to stifle Collingwood's run, gun and handball game off half-back. And if they can, then I think they'll be in this contest.
They need someone to come with the leaders. That next level of player, the B graders, if you like. If they can have a couple of those just spike, they don't have to be best on ground, just have moments in game. I think they're leaving too much to too few. If I was tipping this week, I'd probably tip Carlton, just because they need a response.
And that's right, it's a must-win game for the Blues. Yeah.
What about this, Joey? So we saw the forward line function without Harry Mackay last week. He's obviously not in this week. What about the thought of maybe putting him down back when he comes back in to the
Harry
side?
Mackay.
Yeah. As a forward, there's a lot of, obviously, pressure on, when you come in, you've got to deliver and you are the mailman. But if you put him down back, it just eases the load a little bit. He sees the ball. It's almost a cider for him in terms of his confidence coming back into the game. So something to toss up.
Just build his confidence back, get him going again.
100%. Lob's gone down.
Easy ball.
Well, Lob's gone down for the doggies and made it his position.
Yeah, so I don't mind it. And it looked pretty good last week with Kemp and Charlie Curnow. Lewis Young can pinch hit second ruck and compete. Maybe it isn't an option for Harry just to go behind the ball, take some marks, relieve a bit of pressure and get his confidence back. I think that can work as well.
It's good to go and then you have 6 kicked on you and then you're in all sorts.
Well, then the orange man comes out. You go straight back down the other end. King, that's how you actually get back to first.
That's how you do it.
All right, Kingy, your first crack.
Oh, mine's about Fremantle and the new information the Champion Data have gone with regarding the ball speed and the ball tracking, if you like, how you're counter-punching, what sort of speed you're going at. And I just want to talk with you guys and discuss. I don't believe they can win the flag playing this way. I don't think they can win preliminary final weekend against good teams, whether it be on the road or at home, with a ball movement speed that's poorest in the competition. And the speed is that because they take forever to make a decision once they've taken that first uncontested mark. And the whole game slows down. It makes it really difficult for them to progress down the field. I want to talk about why. So the numbers are the numbers. But when you play slow, you give the opposition time for them to get set behind the ball. They get the exact pieces where they want them. So he takes a mark here. Now, most good teams are already playing on with their eyes. Who's free? Bang, there's a short there. Take that. Shift the Swans' defence. They don't. They take forever. So that's 8 to 10 seconds means you've got to go through the set defenders. Now, this week, this will be guys like Lobb, Jones and the ruckman assisting. And then the swarm of players coming over to assist. So you've got to defeat every line that's set for the opposition with their prime pieces in place. You can't live like that. You can't score like that. So all the numbers are the numbers. When they play fast, those numbers flip. And their handball game, when they get it express off half-back, is really strong. And if they take a couple of angles, and we saw a couple last week when we were watching here, I hope that progresses. They're in really good shape and they've got dangerous forwards. But Tracy and Jackson having a mark or compete against, the opposition's best every time is going to cruel them. And I just think if you look at the Dogs, the Dogs, aside from Hawthorn, they're the hardest team to move the ball against. So it's going to be Lobb and the ruckman. And then the numbers swarm across because this is their grid. So they get extra numbers. So not only do you have to defeat those guys in the air, now you're defending straight away. So it looks really basic. But if you look next layer back as well, so look at this. They play on here from Carlton. They squeeze over really quickly. There's delay on the ball. Long down the line, you've got the ruckman and Jones. And even in behind that, you've got an aggressive, dominant position from Lobb in the back end. Now, that can be Jones. It doesn't matter. They can interchange. And then you're playing the numbers game again. So I just think this needs to be looked at because even if you do win that and go forward, you're in real trouble. And this is why last year they never scored 100 points against the top 8 teams. They played them 11 times and didn't get the reward. This is the last piece.
So
they've got to fix this.
Do they have the right kickers at half-back then? Is that what you think?
I think Hayden Young needs to come back and go back to half-back. The midfield's really strong. I mean, we just saw Sarong and Brayshaw fight out the medal last week. I know the opposition was poor, but I think they're well served in the midfield. They need someone who's prepared to look in the middle and say, that's us. And if they don't find that soon, then they're going to run out of weeks to experiment. Now's the time to experiment and have a look and get rid of the guys that aren't prepared to bite something off immediately.
And this is also back to the coach. Like you said, have they got the right kickers there? But it's also, have you given them the right licence? Like Justin might be saying, no, they've got to be more composed off half-back. We want to go slow. So we don't know what that internally looks like. But some coaches can actually be, that can be the negative.
So the system can be right. It's just the mindset.
Correct.
How quickly, how confident are you?
It's been for too long to be the player.
Yep.
It has to be the system. So I understand that he doesn't necessarily have confidence with some of these guys because, how could you? They haven't really done it, and when they do it, they're probably doing it tight. You got to give confidence and some. Hey, you're going to cough up some goals. Hayden Young, go there. You're going to have some horror turnovers, but when we get through, we're going to be expressed. They can't win like this. Against the best teams in the comp, you can't defeat every layer down the ground to score.
And you also have to defeat yourself. So as a forward, I've been in this situation. We go too slow. I've got to go up and hunt the ball. If it's starvation corner, I've got to go get a feed. I come up. I stuff the whole system up. Yeah. And that's what will happen. It starts to break down across the lines.
That's why we talk how crucial Dane Zorko, Nick Blakey, Dan Houston, these sorts of guys, why they're so important.
So after 3 rounds, and this is all new information, so we're still trying to apply it and work out exactly where it sits. After 3 rounds, there's never been a profile that's moved the ball slower than Freo. So this is alarm bells. It's round 4. There's time to change it. And they get a good look this way. At home against the Dogs, who are a little bit banged up. They've got a few players still out. So it's a good opportunity, Joey. I think I don't know if Hayden Young's in or not. But if he's in, send him back.